Well, welcome everyone. Today we are going to be sharing with you about the amazing Solex University School of Naturopathy. I am very honored to be the dean, and Jennifer Nelson Hawks over here with me is our curriculum content coordinator. And so we are going to share with you some of the exciting things happening and help you make a decision about whether Solex University School of Naturopathy is right for you. So we'll go ahead and share our screen here. Present. All righty. So let me first start out by saying this is an accredited School of Naturopathy by the ANMA. So that is the American Naturopathic Medical Association. And I think that is a very important point to bring up because we get that question probably primarily most of all. So today we're going to go over, we call it SUSN's structure and educational approach. We are going to help you understand what it's going to look like from the moment of enrollment to certification. We are going to explain our very unique 3-track system and your clinical rotations, probably the hottest topic that we have gotten in questions about this program. And we are, for those of you live, we will give you an opportunity for Q&A. All right, so again, SUSN delivers a comprehensive 2-year online naturopathic program through 4 very carefully structured semesters. We actually spent a lot of time developing this curriculum for you all to make sure it is comprehensive, covers everything you need, and we strive for excellence as Solex does in all things.
Yeah, and with that being said, each semester is going to be highlighted with specific areas of content and understanding and structure. So, if you're looking to learn something like herbs and iridology, they might not come till semester 3. So we're really focusing on the anatomy and physiology more in the first semester so that you get a real understanding of how the body really works.
Very important. Yes, absolutely. And on that note, we will get to this in a moment, but you can take just semester 1, but the semesters are cumulative. So you do need to take semester 1 to take semester 2, to take semester 3 and semester 4. Okay. So who is this for? Well, we wanted to make this a very broad reach that would be desirable and useful for many people. So first of all, if you are an aspiring naturopathic doctor or looking for a naturopathic certification, we definitely have what you need. We have aligned up our curriculum to comply with ANMA requirements so that you will be able to pass their licensing exam. It is also for those of you like me that are wellness entrepreneurs and either are running a wellness clinic or interested in running a wellness clinic to help you do that better, more efficiently, and with a greater knowledge base. And then lastly, you don't have to fit into either of these first 2 categories, guys. If you are just somebody that loves to learn and you have loved what you have seen so far at Solex and you want to go deeper and learn all of the details, then we welcome you. Absolutely. Now, the ANMA accreditation, I will tell you when our founder, Lauren Swenson, presented our curriculum to them, they said to him, this is the most comprehensive curriculum that they have seen in 45 years that they have been around. So you are getting the best of the best, we feel. And there are only a few institutions that earn ANMA accreditation, and we are one of them. So that really is a distinction for our graduates that we prepare you for those licensing pathways, okay? And we really do strive for that highest standard of naturopathic education.
Yeah, and part of that also is, we have medical doctors that are teaching, we have naturopathic doctors. I mean, we have we have a variety of different backgrounds that are coming to you and bringing our knowledge that we have learned over the last X amount of years to the forefront. And I think that that is one of the biggest key strengths that we have in being the one of the most, comprehensive curriculums that they have seen.
Absolutely. So, what are your admission requirements? Well, listen, we're going to make this very, very easy for you. You do not need a college degree. You do not need any specialized education. If you have graduated 12th grade, so you have the equivalent of a high school education in the United States, okay? That is really your only prerequisite for admission. And we're not verifying that when you sign up. We are assuming that you will take responsibility for the fact that you have graduated high school here, because we designed the level of content is appropriate for somebody who has completed that. Okay, so if you've completed that, if you've gone through college and you have a biology degree, well, great, you might be doing even better, right? But you don't absolutely need that. It's important. Also important, you do not have prior experience in naturopathy or wellness or medicine. So I get asked that question a lot. People say, hey, I'm very new to Solex. I don't know if I'm prepared to enter the university. You absolutely are. Again, we have taken one of the things that I love that all of our faculty has done is that we've taken some very complex topics and made them very easy to understand, put them in language that is very, I think, very easy to understand and that will be relatable for you, but also is rigorous enough with the workbooks that we provide, with the quizzes that we provide, that you will have all of the information you need to pass the licensing exam if you choose to go that route. Importantly, you do have expert faculty support. We'll get to this in a moment, but we did establish a Facebook group where our professors are in there, and anyone who has joined Solex University School of Naturopathy has access to that. And so our faculty will come in from time to time and answer those questions. And then as our students progress through, they will be able to answer your questions as well. Now, you have flexible enrollment options, okay? So you can decide, look, I only want to enroll in one semester, and that's fine. You can do that. You can stop there. We'll talk about this in a moment. You will get a certification for even that one semester. So that is definitely an option for you. We have all of this curriculum as self-paced learning, all right? So you log in, when you pay for the first semester, you get access to that full semester and progress through at your own speed, all right? We understand that most people have very busy lives and families, and so we wanted to make this very user-friendly for you. And then again, you will get a SUSN certification at the end of each semester. Okay, so you're building your credentials progressively. I do want to mention this because I think this is really important. The certifications you will get at the end of each semester, they are issued by Solex University School of Naturopathy. These are not certifications issued by the ANMA. And Jennifer, you want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah. So the ANMA, these credentials are required for the additional examination. So when you get your board certification through the ANMA, then you're going to have additional examinations that will basically be over all 4 semesters that you've learned through SUSN. But every state is different. So you're going to want to make sure that whatever state that you are residing in and teaching out of, or doing your wellness center or whatever, that they acknowledge the credentials coming from ANMA, because some states do not. And if they don't, then you're still seen with having the education, but you may not be able to call yourself a naturopathic doctor at that point.
I think that's important.
Mhm.
All right, now let us explain a little bit about this 3-track system. So every semester there are 3 different tracks. Okay, I'll go into details about what each of those is in a moment. However, it's important you don't choose a track. It's not that kind of thing. You go through all 3 tracks for each semester in order to consider that semester complete. All right. So the first one of these is the NDM track, which is more of your medical sciences foundation. Then the NDI track, which is naturopathic and integrative medicine. And then finally, we thought it was extremely important to put in this third track, which is practice and business management, which is the NDP track, because I'll tell you what, when I went to medical school, I did not get any business training whatsoever, no financial training, no idea how to run a practice. And it was so frustrating because they teach you all this great scientific knowledge, and then you don't really know what to do other than to join somebody else's practice or work for a hospital. And we want you to be empowered in all ways. So we have designed the curriculum like that. So we'll go
Yeah,
into
so
detail
important.
about each of these. So first of all, the NDM track, you are building your scientific foundation. Okay, this is essential medical knowledge that really is important to understand as you are layering in the naturopathic strategies. All right, so you are going to get comprehensive anatomy and physiology, pathology, fundamentals, and disease processes. And importantly, for those of you that may have gone through other types of medical training, you know that you typically learn the anatomy of this one semester, and then the next semester you might get physiology, and then the next semester you might get pathology. Well, that made no sense to us. We said, look, let's do this from a systems-based approach. So you are getting, for example, in that first module, you are learning the anatomy, physiology, and some pathology about the nervous system. Okay, very, very important to understand this holistically. You are also going to get some pharmacology basics, drug interactions that will be later in the program. And we also teach you some critical reasoning and clinical assessment.
Yeah, and the reason why the critical reasoning and clinical assessment is there in there because as naturopathic doctors, we cannot treat and we cannot diagnose. So just note when you see those, that's why they're labeled that way.
Yeah, it's important. Okay, so NDI track is probably what most of you are expecting, which is naturopathic and integrative medicine, and you will get plenty of that, do not worry. So we are covering the gamut: herbal medicine, homeopathy, nutrition, lifestyle, frequency-based strategies, and then some. You will also get the history of naturopathy. And Jennifer, you can talk a little bit more about this because I know you very heavily involved in teaching this part.
Yeah, so this is partly where my expertise comes into play. And yeah, we're going to go through all the depths of how it began, where it is, where the future of naturopathic medicine is going. You're going to hear a lot of repeats because there's a lot of herbs that repeat all the different systems that we do cover, the brain, the nervous systems, the lungs, the cardiovascular system, everything involved. And then we do have the nutritional and lifestyle along with then the frequency-based healing. So we're integrating part of, Solex's vision and bioresonance technology in with all of this as well, because it is important that we look at the entire curriculum as a whole instead of just only doing a couple pieces.
Perfect. All right. And then here is something that truly does separate SUSN from other programs that are available, and that is your Track 3 NDP Practice and Business Management. So you will have business foundations, learning about legal aspects, financial planning, operational systems, how to even study different types of research and integrate those into your practice in an intelligent way. You will learn about compliance. You will learn about efficient workflow. We have a few sections on burnout, how to avoid that for yourself. Very, very important in this industry, right? How to set boundaries for yourself and how to help your clients who may be experiencing burnout as well, right? Then importantly, we will also be touching on client acquisition, marketing, sustainable practice expansion techniques. So you will have in your hands really just everything you need to take the knowledge that you are learning in the first two tracks and apply it in a way that is sustainable for you and is very beneficial for your clients that you are serving.
Yeah, because the truth is there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's a matter of figuring out what works for you in your city, in your environment, for your lifestyle, for your work style, for everything. So we've created it in a way that you can take pieces and parts from all of it and incorporate it into to what is right for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, just a couple of notes about the course delivery and timeline. Again, this is a fully online platform. These lectures are all very lovingly pre-recorded by our faculty. We fly into Solex for a week, and I know it's a little and we record them all for you at one time, which absolutely helps with the cohesion as well for the semester. And then again, self-paced progress. Importantly, though, semester two launch will not start until 6 months after the semester one launch. Okay, so you can take 2 years to do semester one if you want to. That's your choice. But if you are a gunner and you finish semester one in 3 months and it's February and you say, where's semester two? Well, you're going to have to wait until April. Okay, so do understand that, okay? Now, this is another question we get a lot because we wanted to give you all the resources that you could possibly use, but I wanted to make it clear, we both wanted to make it very clear to you, you do not have to purchase textbooks for this program, okay? These are optional textbooks, okay, that help to support, to give you deeper layers of understanding to the curriculum, but what you are getting from the videos, what you are getting from the workbooks, what you are getting from the quizzes, and where applicable, what you are getting from the slides, that is comprehensive for you, okay? So don't feel like you have to go out and buy some $250 textbook, okay? You may want to. Some of them are at a library, right? Some of them, if you have a college nearby, you can go there and check some of those out as well. You can get a used book. You don't even have to get a book at all, okay? You have everything you need contained, but some individuals like to have different layers and depth of understanding. So we wanted to give you some options, and these are things that we have vetted and recommend to you.
Exactly.
Now, again, and Jennifer, you touched on this a few minutes ago, but it is worth repeating. So you will get, and we'll go over what certification you get by semester in just a moment. That is issued again by SUSN. Okay. ANMA credentials are separate. So you have to apply through them for their certifications. Okay. So that must be done. You can check the anma.org website for more information like that. And if you do go through all 4 semesters, our 4 semesters are considered appropriate for them, for you to then apply for that certification, to apply to take the NPLEX exam, all right, which is a separate exam. We do not administer that, okay? That is administered separately. But our curriculum prepares you for that. It qualifies you for that. But then you have to apply to ANMA for those credentials, okay? Whatever credentials that you want. And again, importantly, if you are in the United States, there are only a few states that accept the naturopathic doctor title. So you need to, if you really want that title, you need to be sure and check that you are in a state that offers that.
Yeah, and with that, I do recall seeing somewhere that testing there's a fee to take the test, and I do
Mhm.
believe that Susan is paying for that.
Okay.
I'm I am 98% positive that your tuition includes, if you get through semester four, that includes
Licensing.
the testing, the cost to take the test.
Okay, that's great.
I am
And
95% sure.
okay, that is great. And you do get, the moment you enroll, even in semester one, you get 1 year's worth of ANMA membership, and that is important too.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are these certifications that are being issued by SUSN? You complete semester one, you are called a certified holistic health practitioner. That is your certificate from SUSN. For semester two, you have a certificate as a certified traditional naturopath. For semester three, when you complete that, you are considered by SUSN certified natural health professional. And then when you go through all 4 semesters, you are considered by SUSN a certified naturopathic doctor. So that is exciting to get these certifications at those different levels. Oftentimes you may not see that, so it is really rewarding to be able to see that.
I want to go
Now
back to
the,
that just
yeah,
for a second.
yeah,
Is one of the things that I know for sure you can get some qualifications to open certain accounts in the health and wellness industry with a certified holistic health practitioner. You get more with the certified traditional naturopath. And then pretty much everything in 3 and 4, you can pretty much open any account as long as you have that certification from Susan to be able to open accounts to get wholesale on holistic products that are maybe not available through Solex or that you find in addition. So just so you know that sometimes the certified holistic health practitioner doesn't quite get you there. Um, but that is one of the things that I have found throughout the journey of being in the holistic world.
excellent. That's perfect. Okay, let's talk about these clinical rotations because I know this has been such a hot topic. And so Jennifer and I have spent quite a bit of time discussing this also with Solex leadership. So, first of all, if you complete only semesters one or semesters one and two or semesters one, two, and three, you do not need to worry about clinical rotations. Okay. This only applies to you if you are intending to complete all 4 semesters of the program. Okay. If you do in semester four, there are 60 hours of supervised clinical experience that are needed. And we're going to go through what that looks like because we wanted to make options available for everyone. Okay. And so there's multiple approved pathways. Listen, this is so critical if you are going for that last certification, certainly if you are going to go take the NPLEX exam. There is a big difference, I will tell you, between learning something out of a book, right, or online, and then putting it into practice. There are just some things that you cannot put into a lecture. You cannot put into a book or a workbook, okay? And it has to be experienced in the day-to-day, this real world experience. It is so, so powerful, and doing so under the guidance of licensed practitioners is very important. These rotations will prepare you for independent professional practice, no matter what you choose to do, okay? So let's talk about the different options. So first of all, this is option one, and you're going to have 4 different choices here. So the first one is an in-person rotation, and that is what we would consider the gold standard, okay? So you would travel to either an ANMA-accredited or a SUSN-accredited naturopathic practice or wellness center for immersive hands-on experience. And there is a curated list of approved sites that will be available to you well before semester four is released. Okay, so you will have that full list. We are still curating that. Many of the faculty who are teaching do have locations and options for you to do this. And these meet our clinical standards. And again, that's a gold standard. But let's go to option two. Now, some of you that don't live near one of these areas, right? And those of you that are in other countries have also reached out and said, well, what can I do? So we wanted to make this reasonable for you. So if you want an in-person experience, but you're unable to travel away from your local area, you have an option to identify a licensed professional in your area and then submit a proposal that will be reviewed by the curriculum content chair here and myself. We will look at that, and then we will evaluate that and make a recommendation about approval for that. Okay, so listen, if you're in a remote area or you have existing professional networks, okay, you want to stay in your own community, then we wanted to make that available to you. So don't feel like that you have to go to one of the 10 or 20 sites, and we will have more and more sites as people graduate, right? Because as people graduate and open their own practices, then we will be adding more and more sites to our official list, but you have an option for this as well. All right, so clinical pathway number 3, and this is applicable to a portion of those 60 hours, okay? Up to 25% of those clinically required hours can be obtained through either CME or educational events, okay? So if you have CE courses that you want to go to in relevant naturopathic or medical topics, if you want to attend health fairs or expos or community wellness events, all right? Specialized workshops, advanced training seminars, you can submit that to the curriculum committee and we will review that and let you know about that being approved. Okay, so up to 15 of those 60 hours can be through this, which we think is a wonderful compliment and actually would encourage you to consider that and as part of your hours as well.
Yeah, it's also great to do collaborations that way too. You can, meet
Yes,
other practitioners, you can do collaborations, and that's also really beneficial in this industry.
absolutely. All right, and then clinical pathway number 4 is telehealth. Okay, so listen, even if you cannot go anywhere in person, then we wanted you to be able to complete this requirement. All right, so you can complete your supervised clinical hours remotely. All right, through virtual observation with approved practitioners. So, what would that look like? So, you would log on, maybe through Zoom or whatever the platform is, and observe and or participate in a actual evaluation with a client between a practitioner and a client. Okay, so those can be your hours as well. And again, then if this is something you want to do, then you submit that to the curriculum committee and we will make that determination for you about that. But we are going to be very generous with what we approve, all right? Because we really want you, those of you that want to make that commitment to go through all 4 semesters, we want you to have a pathway. So we think that this is really provided. We talked about this for quite some time about having all of these options available to you. Now, how do you choose? All right. So again, if you are gonna go for naturopathic doctor license and it's in your state and that is approved, then we would strongly recommend that you go to somewhere with a naturopathic practice and do an in-person rotation if you can do that at all, right? If you are someone and you say, look, I want to open a wellness center, well, come to beautiful Sarasota, Florida, and you can do your clinical rotations with me here at Quantum Wellness Center Sarasota or any of the other wonderful wellness sites. If you are planning on running a telehealth practice, right, then choose that telehealth option. So really think about strategically what is going to be most beneficial to you. This is not about just checking a box for those clinical rotations, but really to empower you to feel confident that when you finish up with this 4-semester curriculum and you take your exams and you get your certifications, that you feel confident about opening your practice or whatever that may look like.
Mhm.
Now, for community and ongoing support, again, we do have a private Facebook group and it is only available to those who have purchased at least 1 semester of SUSN, okay? And you can connect with fellow students there. Our faculty is in there answering questions periodically for you as well. And we will be providing program updates for you as far as the curriculum development, timelines, and all of this information. It's a good place to discuss different ideas, even amongst yourselves. Okay, so we feel like that is a wonderful support for you.
It really is.
So if you are feeling that this is resonating with you, then we encourage you to visit our website, which is susn.education, and you can see the program information. You can see the overview of the curriculum for semester one. You can complete your enrollment and you can get started today. Okay, you can get started today with this amazing program. We have gotten such great feedback from those who have enrolled already. They are so excited. They feel like the lectures are very easy to understand. They have really praised the faculty for how the content is delivered. And again, we are here to support you, and we would love to welcome you into the SUSN family.
Yeah, and we are trying to do everything we can to make sure that no matter what your learning style is, that we have all the availability for you, whether it's seeing the slides, whether it's listening to the practitioner that's presenting the slides, or even I do believe that they're doing a transcript so you can read it.
Mhm. Yes. Yes, because there are, yeah, some people are auditory learners, some people are visual learners, and some people, learn hands-on, so you'll get that too eventually. Okay. Well, we are going to take any questions that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and look at these. So are these accreditations accepted in Canada? So the Susan is international, okay? And so your semester accreditation, yes, will be valid no matter where in the world that you happen to live. So that is useful for you. But again, you need to check with your local organizations as far as that process. So I don't know what that process is for Canada. And again, it varies by state within the United States. So you need to check with them about that and what that licensing exam looks like, right? Because the ANMA, it's the American Naturopathic Association, right? So you would want to look at that for your country.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Okay. And we will stay on for a couple minutes for any other questions that come up. I believe we probably answered many of those through this presentation. And
Yeah, I
so
think
we
one of
will
the
all,
biggest ones, I think one of the biggest ones was the clinical rounds. Um,
Mhm.
that was one of the ones questions that just keeps coming over and over and over. And like we said, we put so much time and effort into that to make sure that you get the clinical experience that you need without feeling like if you cannot leave a family and cannot or leave work or whatever, that you have the ability to do whatever works for you. And I will say I do most of my stuff now is telehealth. So I'm able to do more of the telehealth part where, Dr. Darlene is doing a lot of the wellness center. I think Dr. Wes has the wellness center. There's lots of varieties. Obviously corporate has a wellness center. There's a wellness center in Texas for sure. There's a lot of options. And one of the things when we came up with the idea of um, going to different places and doing little webinars or doing what's the word I'm looking for? Conferences.
Mhm.
Great, great. You have so much information. You can get so much information there.
Absolutely. So next question, when does first semester start? Well, it's available right now. So if you want to get started today, you can just go to susn.education and go ahead and sign up. If you choose, there's a couple options for payment. You can pay in full for the semester. And if you do, you get immediate access. If you set up a payment plan, you do have to call in to set that up. And when you do that, they will help you get access within 24 hours. So you can get started right away. So the per semester cost is $2,300, and that will stay consistent at least for this first round. So those that start now with semester one, take semester two when it's available, semester three and semester four, that will stay consistent for each semester. Okay. I cannot say what will happen after this first cohort completes semester four, but for now it will be $2,300 per semester. So, which I think is an incredible deal. I mean, personally, I think that's a very fair option, and it's nice to have the pay monthly option as well.
Yeah. And then Lucy, you asked if you only do 1 to 3 semesters, you do not take the ANMA test if you do 1 to 3 semesters. You have to complete that 4th semester to be eligible
Right.
for the ANMA test to get
Yeah.
your board
But
certification.
right. So, like
If
you're
you're
saying here, if you want to just learn but not necessarily open a practice or a clinic, then yeah, you may not need that 4th semester. There will be some more content in there as well. So once that curriculum is released publicly, you can look at that and make an evaluation about whether that will be important to you to know as well.
Great question though.
Yeah, very good questions. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Okay.
I feel like we did actually cover it pretty thoroughly. So
I think
if
so,
you have
yeah.
if you
So
do have any
thank
other
you.
I'm trying to think if there were any other questions that popped up through even the Facebook group that we've been in, and I don't think so. I think the biggest things were like I said, the clinical rounds in semester 4, the cost, and there was one more that was, oh, the purchasing of books outside. Oh, another one that has come up in the Facebook group is the workbooks are not interactive, meaning you have to print them out and you have to write in the workbooks. The tests and the quizzes are interactive, so you can take them online and submit them, and then they are reviewed um, on the back end. But the workbooks, if you choose to do a workbook that way, you don't have to print it if you don't have that. You can have a notebook and you can write down the questions and, basically create your own workbook with piece of paper and pen. So just note that is you cannot do that interactively.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah. So, really good question. If you complete all 4 semesters, are you required to take the NPLEX exam? Absolutely not. You do not have to do that. You can't take that unless you go through all 4 semesters, but you can do all 4 semesters just for your own edification and knowledge, and you will get that certificate from SUSN and you can be done right there. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just won't be board certified, is what happens. So when you take the ANMA, that creates a board certification for you. Um, and that's what is recognized by the states. So the truth is, if your state does not recognize the ANMA, you can consider still going through all of the semesters, getting your certifications through SUSN, but not having to take the state requirement test if your state doesn't see that. And again, some states do, some states don't. So you just need to see where you are.
Absolutely. Perfect.
All
Okay,
right,
well, I
everyone.
think we have gotten through all the questions. So thank you all for being here, whether you're live or on the replay, because yes, this will be available on the replay. We'll get it up on a YouTube link to make it easy for everyone to access. And please feel free to share this information with others who may be interested in their own naturopathic education. So have an amazing, blessed
Well,
day, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.
bye.